Hey everybody, how are you today? This is your old pal Boise with another daily sobriety vlog. Yes. Today, here's the stats. Saturday, May 23rd. I have been sober for 14,298 days, 39 years, 1 month, and 20 days, and a total of 469 months. Today was quite a day here in Houston. I tell you what, the weather was out of control. It was absolutely wild, and big storm coming off the Gulf all the way across Houston. I had to pick up Carlton up in Bush Airport. I drove through all that stuff. That was insane. Caroline was getting completely wet as well. It was just a downpour. It's the expression you hear about being a flat rock under a cow while it's urinating. I gotta move this thing around. Somehow my camera is getting jammed up. Just having one of those days today. That's when you see a lot of shaking going on. It's like, it's got a lot of herky-jerky moves to it. And then it's not following me either, so real fun. But technical difficulties, why not, right? I'm gonna stop moving. We're just gonna sit in the great room, as they call it, and just chill. How's that sound? Is that good with you? It's good with me. Got a lot of excitement here. We have ourselves a new cat. His name is Basil. And let me move the camera so you can see him. There he is. Look at him. Just hanging out with me. So that's fun. And he's young, so he's kind of clumsy. Like right now, he's got a claw in my shirt. He tends to want to touch you and smack you, but he doesn't withdraw his claws, and he gets caught on everything. And right now, he's tearing my shirt up. But, you know, I forgot how, when we haven't had young ones in a while, so it's kind of funny, actually. You forget what they go through and how clumsy and awkward, and sometimes they draw blood. They end up playing with you and scratch you hard because they're just playing and they don't realize what they're doing. And right now he's trying to unhook himself from my shirt, and I'm trying to help him, and he's pulling and he's biting at my fingers for helping him. And he's biting my shirt, causing quite a stir, actually. But, so we're gonna have to deal with that while we're talking. And I think he got loose. No, he got another one in me now. So, gonna be a tug of war on my shirt. If you see my shirt yanking around, that's the reason why. And he's blaming me for it, so he's nipping at me. There he is, see him? He's struggling. What's wrong, boy? You're the one that did it to yourself. Learn to control your claws. Well, don't put your other paw in there, you'll have more claws. That's gonna be one of those days. Things you don't plan on. They happen all the time, right? With sobriety or with anything else. Hey, he got loose. He's running wild now. But anyways, that's Basil. But yeah, today was a crazy day weather-wise in all of Houston. And the one thing I noticed, being a boy that was raised in the woods of Duluth, Minnesota, we'd have thunderstorms, but nothing as powerful and almost majestic as it comes off the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm not talking tropical storms. Those are wild. Those are like baby hurricanes, but I'm just talking about just a storm. When I first got down here, Kim would laugh at me because I'd be sitting out there. The cats would get scared, so they wouldn't go out with me. I'd have them on little harnesses and leashes. But when it's raining out, they're too scared, so they'd stay in the house. And I would sit out there and sip coffee and just feel the wind, and the smell of the storm and the lightning and the thunder just shaking you in the house. It's incredible. If you haven't experienced a storm off the Gulf of Mexico, it's like going to an IMAX and seeing a disaster movie with a big storm. That's what it's like. It's incredible, actually. It's kind of exciting for a kid from up north. I mean, we get big snowstorms and stuff, but we wouldn't get storms like that, rainstorms like that at all. Cheers. So it's kind of fun when you go to a different part of a country, and a lot of things are alien to you, just like storms. Or if someone from Houston goes up north, this girl I know, Megan, she's raised here in Houston. Now she's got a boyfriend, and she's snowboarding all over in the Northwest in Oregon, and really good snowboarder now. Like, you come from the land where if there's a chance of snow, school is closed completely the next day, even if there isn't any snow. Just the threat of it does it. And she's in there snowboarding like she's been raised in the snow. So it's kind of wild. And she would be the first to tell you that she adjusted to something new. And now that's her new normal. And it's the same when you get sober. Everything is new. Everything is a big change. You're not sure if you're doing it right. You're not sure if you can even trust yourself to keep going, and you're worried that you might even fail yourself, much less your friends and your family. First and foremost, you got to take care of yourself. You're the one that has to do it for yourself. Even if you have a husband or wife or you have children, you still have to do it for yourself, because if you're just doing it, I'm doing it for my kids, then you're just half-assed doing it because you're not doing it for you. And without you being sober, there is no you. There is no mom, there is no dad, there is no wife, there is no husband, there is no child, there is no nothing. You are nothing. You are, as my auntie used to call me, a warning sign on the road to life. And it takes a while before you become a billboard of redemption. So change and the awkwardness of that change can sometimes be frightening. Most times it is. It's definitely awkward. You doubt yourself. You wonder how you got into this situation. You actually can hate yourself for doing what you did to yourself. And then you wonder how you're going to get out of it. And the only way you can get out of it is day by day being sober and keep moving forward and just helping yourself create a stronger you. You build the wall brick by brick. You build the house brick by brick. Everything you do is brick by brick, step by step. Incrementally speaking, it's like turning a battleship, not a speedboat. Takes a while. Then when you get in the right direction, it takes a while to get the speed up. It takes a while to have that type of assuredness that you're going in the correct direction. And then pretty soon, everyone realizes that you're the captain of that ship and you're doing a great job. Then after a while, people look at you like, you've always done a great job. This is what you do. You're killing it. Someone texted me the other day and said, Dad, 39 years, dude, you're killing it. Keep going. You know, it's you get attaboys, attagirl from people, you know what I mean? You get recognition for what you're doing. And you're not doing it for the recognition, but it's kind of sometimes embarrassing and humbling, but very nice to hear, for sure. And validates what you're doing, which is important, very important. And it helps you become a stronger you so that you're actually able to provide a better you at work, provide a better you in the community or your church where your organizations are, your family, be a better brother or sister, be a better neighbor, someone that people can actually look up to and appreciate you being around. It's really important, it really is. And that's basically self-motivating too, because you're looking at things in completely a different set of eyeballs. Things are absolutely exciting and frightening. And you really have to take into consideration what you're doing. I got some more questions they had sent me, and I thought it'd be kind of fun too. This is about asking an addict in recovery. So this is not just the alcoholic, this is the addict. And I'm both, so yeah. What's been your biggest success since entering recovery? Being sober. I mean, that's kind of an obvious one, right? But my relationships, the way I've reestablished relationships with the connections and relationships that I had with people existing that I damaged, that I destroyed. It was nice. And it's slow, be patient. Oh my God, it feels like forever to get these things going and get them to the point where you actually feel like it's almost like it was. And it's almost like you've completely recovered your broken relationship, and actually you're starting to enhance it. And in the words of David Burns, it's suddenly not the same as it ever was, same as it ever was. It's actually better, it's actually improved. If it's someone you love, your open conversations become certainly more intimate, more meaningful, and that equates to just the quiet moments become really comforting, just wonderful. You actually feel like there's an umbrella over you when it rains, and you and your loved ones are actually safe because you're under the umbrella of sobriety, and your relationships with your children and your wife and your husband or whoever the situation is has become tighter. That is a wonderful feeling. That is a reward in itself. You're able to get recognition at work. You might get promotions because of the new you eventually, and you're going to appreciate that, and then you're going to celebrate it when you bring it home to your family. Cheers. Those things they're priceless. And it says to you that you're becoming a success. This is the right direction. You knew it was the right direction, but now you're being rewarded, which validates everything, so that you can actually start talking to other people and go, this is the way you got to go when you give advice to someone. This is where I was. This is what happened to me. Now I'm over here and I'm doing a lot better. And you could be that person too. There's no reason why you can't be that person. And like I say, and you use this saying yourself, you don't see a big S and a Superman cape on my back, do you? No. I don't even make a good Clark Kent. I look more like Wilfred Brimley at this point. For those of you who don't know who Wilfred Brimley is, you're going to have to Google that, because he was in a movie called Cocoon, which was a Ron Howard movie, and he was an older fella, and he was an actor that was an actor for years, but suddenly became more well-known in acting world because of his stately way of doing things. Almost like John Houseman, but he was a little more highbrow, let's say. Or I could be like Chuck Schumer. When I get serious, I pull my glasses at the end of the nose, and I tell you what, I was so upset with the president that I wrote a strongly worded 10-point bullet point memo to the White House so they know I'm serious. It was a 10-pointer. I come from Minnesota. 10-pointer is a pretty good buck, hey? That's a good deer hunting season there. You got yourself a good buck. Did you get a picture? You gonna get the antlers done? Put them in the garage? Hey, good job, eh? Old Chuckles in his 10-pointer. See, I even give a hard time to the Democrats too when they need it. because I call balls and strikes. That's what you got to do when you're sober. You got to look through the world through sober eyes. You're looking at yourself, and you're looking at your family, looking how you damage you did to the family. What can you do to make it better, and the world around you? And then eventually equates into politics. And if you are strong with yourself, you're not going to be easily misled by someone who wants to weaponize your empathy or your lack of education or knowledge in a certain topic, and then they manipulate you. Because once they get their vote, they can do whatever the F they want. They don't care what you got to say. So make sure you pick the right. Make sure you choose wisely. Like in the Indiana Jones, what was it? What was Sean Connery played his father. And they're like picking the chalice that Jesus would have drank from. Oh, it's the king, the gold, this is it. And the old knight was like, he's chosen unwisely. And Indiana Jones grabs the wooden cup, the least fanciest, because that's what Jesus would have drank, was from the less gaudy, the less golden, the more humble. And that was the correct one. You have chosen wisely. But you must choose wisely with yourself and your decisions. It's good though, when you're in a community of sober folks, you're going to get some feedback, very vital. Look at here. See that one right there? That's the baby of the family, or originally the baby. Now Basil's the new one. But that's Midge. She's showing her butt. Yeah. Just going to go sit down over there. Go stare at Buddha for a while. It's her temple. But anyways, for me, the reward was the relationships. There's a lot of other rewards I could do, and I probably will touch on it again when that question comes back up. But the main one is the relationships, and I'm talking broadly and vaguely, but more importantly, the intimate relationships that you'd have with a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, that type of thing. These are the people that you rely on. These are the people that know your secrets. Almost all of them. Because you haven't quite gotten to that yet, have you? But they know a lot. Enough to probably put you in jail, right? That's why you ever notice in the court of law, cheers, a woman cannot testify against her husband, and a husband cannot testify against his wife. Even if they fucking hate each other at that point. Because you know too much. And it might skew the jury one way or the other, and it might not be a accurate representation. Because at that point, it's not so much lawful, and it gets real personal. But that's the whole thing about being sober. It is personal. It is. And when you do damage, it's personal to other people that you've damaged. So it's a new way of life. Just like the storms that came through today was exciting and horrific and scary. And I was out driving and picking up people at Bush Airport on the north side of town. But otherwise, I'd be on the front porch, just sipping coffee, going, God, this is incredible. I still get into that. I really do. A couple of times I went for I do my 10,000 steps. I basically will walk a minimum of 4 miles every day. Because I can't run anymore because they replaced my knees, or I got fake knees, titanium knees or whatever they are. But I can no longer run. I can only walk and do elliptical and bike and swim. I can't run. Literally, I can't run. It's like watching Frankenstein or the Tin Man. It's like watching Frankenstein race to the oil can to give it to the Tin Man because he's freezing up. That's how I get up in the morning, I swear to God. As my Uncle Dave used to say, you know when you're getting old, when you wake up in the morning and all the parts that are stiff aren't the fun ones. When I was younger, like, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, oh. And now I'm like, yeah. Oh, man. Elbow, fingers, wrist, knee, hip. Why my middle toe? seem pretty dormant in the middle section here. What's going on? What do we need to arouse that? So sometimes when you get up in the morning, all the stiff parts are not the fun parts, shall we say, or as Uncle Dave used to say. Uncle Dave passed a few years ago. I think he was the funniest guy that I ever knew and grew up with. Besides, I listened to comedy records like Cheech and Chong and George Carlin and Richard Pryor, Red Fox too. And then I'd watch, and comedy HBO specials and things like that, Eddie Murphy and whatnot. But Uncle Dave was the funniest man that I knew and I grew up with. So we had a lot of funny stuff and a lot of off-colored stuff. And he never swore, but he just implied. I can't do that. I'm just rated R. I'm just George Carlin dirty sometimes. Uncle Dave was not. He was like implied and funny, like Bill Cosby, without having you drink Kool-Aid. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Say no more. Say no more. Monty Python was a bit like that too. They would be obviously vague, and you knew exactly what they were saying. It's just kind of fun. That's kind of a reward too. As comedy, I learned that I can laugh and still be sober, which means when I go into a party situation, I can relax and have more fun than anyone else that's drinking or doing their drugs. And oftentimes I've had people go, "God damn, boys, yeah, I'm fucking drinking and doing blow, and you're having a better time than I am. What's going on?" That's going on, Jimmy. Jesus Christ. But I'm not intimidated by it. I don't feel like I have to join the crowd. So there's a reward in that. And it manifests into an inner strength. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I like saying it. It's like the best thing a man or woman can do is take their biggest weakness and turn it into a strength. Then you're like a secret hero Marvel comic book hero. Mine just happens to be sobriety. And I tell people, it's like, say you're bad at math. You avoid it at all costs. Throw yourself into it. Do your best to become the best mathematician that you can possibly be. And then one day someone's going to say, "God damn, you could barely understand division and the multiplication tables, and now you work for NASA?" Yeah, things change, man. But it's incremental, slowly but surely. And stop calling me Shirley. Yeah, I know. But that's the reward. It's a great reward. It's something that I relish every day. When I stop to think about it, I'm actually getting emotional right now because I am grateful. Grateful to have the opportunity to turn my life around, and grateful to turn it around to everyone who thought I was the biggest, pardon my French, piece of shit on the face of the earth. And now I'm treated completely different. And trust me, I remember every painful step of the way, but it takes time. I can relish in it now because if someone actually said that, I'd be like, "Wow, update your files, dude. That's just sad." It doesn't even affect me anymore. But back then it would hurt tremendously. But I am certainly grateful for where I am now and how I got here. And it's like I'm an alchemist, and an alchemist is someone in the Middle Ages that would take lead and try to turn it into gold value, right? Lead is worthless. Gold is what you want, right? So I took all the lead and all the shit in my life and turned it around and started making gold out of all that goddamn manure. Oh, man. And when it started, it just kept going. And it's a great, great feeling. And it's an empowering feeling. And you're going to want to do that definitely yourself. And while you're doing it, and you're watching the video and you see the comments, join some of the people who you feel would understand you. And if you've been sober for 5 years and this gal's been sober for 8, and this gal wants to talk to someone, another girl that's sober for 10. Hey, is there room for a guy who's been sober for 4? Yes, there is. Share some of your comments and some of the things you've been through. The community is the solid thing that keeps you strong. That's the reason why you go to meetings, like I would fondly call my group the Dirty Dozen. These guys knew a lot about me, and it was the ugly shit. And I knew a lot about them, and it was ugly shit. But you gotta process it through, and you don't even do it once. It isn't like farting and saying, oh, excuse me. We can laugh about it now. No, it's not like that. Oh, you can laugh at the fart, but... Whew. And obviously they do, because I see a lot of the videos on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Farting is quite a thing nowadays on the internet. So I figured I would just spread a little something else on the internet. Sobriety as opposed to breaking wind, as they say. Cheers. I know I'm getting off topic because I'm enjoying it, and I enjoy sharing stories with you, and I enjoy questions like that one about the addict, and the recovery and the joys that I experienced, and I elaborate on everything as best I can. But like, subscribe, comment. Thank you, Patreon, Venmo, Cash App, buy me a coffee, ding, 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 chime. I appreciate you spending time with us in the sober community. I appreciate you going forward on your journey sober. You'll get stronger every step of the way. Some of you that have been around for a while, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how strong you feel. Because there's some of our friends that need a little more pep talk in the group. Be there for them. Be the rock that they need to lean on. Be their rock. That's all we can do is help each other. And I thank you for being here with us. I thank you for joining me from the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul. Yes. And in the words of, and there he is back there, Ringo, peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. I love the fact that you join us on a Saturday night after the storms have subsided here in Houston, H-Town, 8:21 in the evening. Let's do the stats one more time when I say goodbye to you. Today is Saturday, May 23rd. I've been sober for 14,298 days. That's 39 years, 1 month, and 20 days, 469, he said 69, months. So, thank you for being here. Thank you, God. Thank you, everybody. I want to thank my family and friends. And I really hope I deserve this award, because it's literally been a hard day's night. Cheers. But thank you. I love you. I'll see you again on the next Sobriety, daily Sobriety vlog. Adios, amigos.